The story begins in the bustling, neon-lit streets of Tokyo. Avery Graves, a CIA agent with nerves of steel, is on a covert mission. Picture her navigating the shadows of a high-security building, her movements precise, her focus unbreakable. Avery's target, a drive containing classified information critical to national security. The tension is palpable as she moves past guards and laser alarms, her every step calculated. After a hair-raising encounter where she's nearly caught, Avery retrieves the drive and vanishes into the night. It's the kind of opening that makes you sit up and pay attention. She's not just any agent, she's the best. Back home, we see a softer side of Avery. It's her wedding anniversary, and she's celebrating with her husband, David Brooks. The two share warm smiles and quiet moments that speak of a deep bond. For a brief time, Avery allows herself to let her guard down, basking in the simplicity of love. It's a stark contrast to her life as a spy, but it's this very love that becomes the anchor of the story. The next day, Avery meets her boss, Jarvis Headland. They discuss a new threat, Kenji Nakajima, a businessman suspected of funding global terrorism under the guise of legitimate trade. Jarvis hints at a shadowy file, Canary Black, said to hold explosive secrets. As Avery listens, her instincts tell her this case is unlike any she's faced before. Little does she know, this mission will push her to her limits. Avery returns home to find her sanctuary shattered. The house is in disarray, and David is missing. On the coffee table sits a phone that wasn't there before. It buzzes to life, and a chilling voice on the other end delivers a grim ultimatum: obtain the Canary Black file by midnight, or David dies. To prove their seriousness, the kidnappers let Avery hear David's voice, fraught with fear. The stakes couldn't be higher, and Avery, though shaken, steels herself for what's to come. Desperate for answers, Avery demands more proof that David is alive. The kidnappers oblige, letting her speak briefly with him. His words are cryptic, hinting at something he can't say outright, but they're enough to ignite a fire in Avery. This isn't just a mission anymore, it's personal. Knowing she can't do this alone, Avery reaches out to a trusted hacker associate. This character, though secondary, adds a layer of tech-savvy intrigue to the plot. They trace the last call made to the mysterious phone, leading Avery to her first clue. Time is ticking, and every second counts. The trail leads Avery to CIA headquarters, where she digs into the file on Laszlo Stoica, a detainee with ties to Canary Black. Her search is interrupted, and she has to think fast. With quick wit and a touch of audacity, Avery gains access to Stoica. Their interaction crackles with tension as she extracts valuable intel. But her unsanctioned actions come at a cost. She's now a fugitive, hunted by her own agency. Following Stoica's lead, Avery arrives at a location where she believes David might be held. Instead, she finds his wedding ringer, cruel taunt and triggers a pressure-sensitive bomb. Time slows as Avery's training kicks in. With incredible focus, she disarms the device and escapes. But the message is clear: her enemies mean business. Determined to stay ahead, Avery confronts Stoica again, pushing him for more details. This scene is a masterclass in psychological warfare, as Avery uses every trick in the book to outmaneuver him. The information she gleans sets her on a collision course with the CIA's most closely guarded secrets. Back at CIA headquarters, Director Nathan Evans and Jarvis discuss the true nature of the Canary Black file. It's not just a list of names, it's a geopolitical weapon, capable of destabilizing entire nations. The stakes are raised yet again, and the lines between friend and foe blur. Cornered, but not defeated, Avery reaches out to Jarvis. Their conversation is fraught with mistrust, but she reveals David's abduction, hoping to gain his help. Shortly after, the CIA raids Avery's home, forcing her to flee. The pace quickens as Avery becomes a woman on the run, her enemies closing in from all sides. Avery arranges a meeting with Jarvis, but nothing goes as planned. The CIA intercepts her, and she's taken into custody. Before they can transport her, their convoy is ambushed by masked assailants. The action here is breathtaking, a chaotic ballet of gunfire and explosions. Amidst the mayhem, Avery escapes, discovering that her neighbor Niklaus was among the attackers. His dying words hint at a deeper conspiracy. Meanwhile, Evans makes a deal with Comrade Breznov, a criminal mastermind with his own designs on the Canary Black file. Breznov's presence adds a new layer of menace, as he's willing to go to any lengths to achieve his goals. After escaping the ambush, Avery takes refuge in an abandoned safe house, piecing together the fragments of the conspiracy. Niklaus' dying words echo in her mind, leading her to believe that the Canary Black file isn't just a weapon, it's connected to a betrayal within her own agency. Her instincts scream that there's more at play, and she decides to go rogue entirely, trusting no one. Avery sets her sights on Comrade Breznov, knowing he holds vital information. With her hacker allies' help, she tracks down Breznov's hideout, a heavily fortified warehouse in a secluded part of the city. This sequence is pure tension, as Avery sneaks in undetected, bypassing layers of security. When she finally comes face to face with Breznov, the ensuing confrontation is electrifying. Breznov, ever the cunning villain, tries to manipulate Avery, offering her a deal: hand over the Canary Black file, and he'll ensure David's safety. But Avery isn't one to be swayed by empty promises. A brutal fight breaks out, showcasing her incredible combat skills. Breznov escapes in the chaos, but Avery manages to extract a crucial clue from his laptop, linked to a covert CIA operation that might hold the answers she needs. Using the data she retrieved, Avery uncovers something shocking. David's kidnapping wasn't random. He was targeted because of his connection to Avery. And more disturbingly, there's evidence suggesting someone within the CIA orchestrated it. The betrayal cuts deep, fueling Avery's determination to uncover the truth and bring the culprits to justice. The trail leads Avery to an abandoned industrial site on the outskirts of the city, where David is being held. The sequence is a masterclass in suspense as Avery stealthily takes out guards, one by one, her movements precise and calculated. When she finally reaches David, the reunion is both emotional and heartbreaking. He's battered but alive, and his first words to Avery are an apology. He's been coerced into betraying her. Avery learns the horrifying truth. David was forced to act as a mole within the CIA, feeding information to Breznov's network. It's a bitter pill to swallow, but Avery sets her feelings aside to focus on escaping with him. Together, they fight their way out, relying on each other's strength and determination. With David safe, Avery's next move is to secure the Canary Black file before it falls into the wrong hands. She discovers its location hidden in a high-security vault within CIA headquarters. The final act of the movie builds to a thrilling climax as Avery infiltrates the agency she once trusted, using every ounce of her skill and knowledge. This sequence is packed with tension, as Avery navigates a maze of guards, surveillance systems, unlocked doors. She finally reaches the vault, only to be confronted by Jarvis. Their confrontation is explosive, both physically and emotionally. Jarvis reveals himself as the mastermind behind the entire plot, his motivations rooted in power and greed. The showdown between Avery and Jarvis is a nail-biter. Their fight is intense, a brutal clash of wills and skills. Avery, though physically and emotionally drained, refuses to back down. Using her quick thinking, she outmaneuvers Jarvis, ultimately defeating him in a dramatic and satisfying conclusion. With the Canary Black file secured, Avery exposes the conspiracy, bringing down Jarvis and his network. The CIA is forced to reckon with its internal corruption, and Avery's name is cleared. The movie ends on a poignant note, with Avery reflecting on the cost of her mission and the strength it took to overcome betrayal and loss. She knows her fight isn't over, but for now, she's ready to face whatever comes next.